Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna be doing something that I've been avoiding for a really long time. And that is gonna be the dents on this car. Now the car has a lot of dents. They have not all been made by me. In my opinion, most of them been made by previous owners. But I still don't like the fact that they're on the car. So today we're gonna do our best to try and get rid of as many dents as possible. And the reason that I've been avoiding doing this process is because I don't know how to fix dents. I am just guiding myself based on either the internet, YouTube videos, or my relatives giving me some tricks and whatnot. I don't know if this is gonna be the perfect or right way to do this. This is just the way that I am doing it on my car. Now I figured I showed you guys the way that I'm gonna be doing this process on my car. I want all of those dents to be just completely gone and ready for paint. For all of you guys that don't know, this is my 2004 Subaru WRX STI. And it is currently going through a repainting process. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how to fix every single dent that I got on the Subi, but there is one dent that is really bad on the car. The dent is going to be on this side of the car. It's going to be this one right here. This is the worst dent that the car has. The rest of them are pretty minor compared to this. So like I said, I figured I'd show you guys the method that I'm going to be using on my car to fill up those dents. But for the most part, the car is basically done. All we got left to do is to patch up all of those dents that the car has. Once we do that, we should be able to move on into sanding the car. But enough of that. Let's just go ahead and start taking care of those dents. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to sand this down. I'm just going to sand it down to the point where it's just bare metal. That's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get it to bare metal so that when you apply the BONDO, it sticks to it a little better. A lot of people say that it doesn't matter if you put it over paint, but I feel like over time, if the paint chips, the BONDO is going to chip with it. So that's why I want to get it down to just bare metal. That's just me. So you don't want to sand just in top of the dents. You want to go a little bit past it. You want a good amount of space to work in so that when you apply the BONDO, you don't just stay here trying to do this. You can just go ahead and put it over and feather it in. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're just gonna sand it down with 120 grit, and I'm using my sanding block. But we're gonna go in a back and forth, up and down motion, again to the point where we see bare metal. One other thing that I'm gonna be doing before I start is I'm just gonna go ahead and tape this section off so that none of the dust goes inside the car. Alright, so I just taped around a little section right here so that I can kind of guide myself and tell myself how far I want to go. I am also going to be taping around the window just so that I do not get any dust inside the car. One more thing, you guys want to make sure that you guys are also wearing a mask for this. There is a lot of sanding dust that goes up flying around. You might not see it, but trust me, it's there, and you want to wear a mask. Make sure you wear a proper mask if you're going to be doing this. But with that being said, let's go ahead and keep working on this. Alright, so we just got done sanding it to bare metal. As you guys can see, there is no more paint or primer left. Now the next step is we're going to go ahead and apply our BONDO to this. But before we do that, I'm going to show you guys the BONDO that I'm using. This is the body filler that I'm going to be using. It is from BONDO. As you guys can see, this is the Professional Gold Body Filler. The only reason that I am using this is because this is cheap and I have seen really good results on this. The reason that I say I seen results is because my dad and family uses this product. This is what they use on their cars. This is how I came across it. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be using today. You can buy this at literally any auto store. I've found this in Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor's Freight. You can literally find this anywhere, guys. But if you guys are wondering where else you guys can get it, I'll have a link down below. But yeah, this is the Gold Body Repair Kit from BONDO, and this is what I'm going to be using. I have this little wooden spatula that I like to use to mix my BONDO. I don't always use it, so sometimes it just sits in the cabinet. And in order for you to make sure that this body filler hardens, you gotta use this cream hardener. If not, it's literally like you're just slapping that on the car. It won't dry out, it's just gonna stay there literally and maybe drip to the ground. So you need to make sure you have some hardener in order for you to activate this. You can also buy this literally anywhere you buy this. It even comes included on here. The only reason I have a bigger one is because I lost the little one that came in this. It's a 50-to-1 ratio, so you just want to go ahead and sprinkle across a little bit of the hardener. Bondo also has these multiple sizes spatulas that you can use to apply your Bondo. This is the one that I'm going to be using today. And I'm going to be using this little cardboard piece that I cut out. There's just a cookie sheet laid on top of it. I am also going to be using this as a little tray so that I can take this with me and apply it to all of my dents. So instead of moving it in circles, what you want to do is you want to kind of pick it up and spread it. So before we apply the Bondo, you want to clean this out. All I did to clean it out was use soapy water. And now we should be able to spread our Bondo onto our dent. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a small amount and spread it on there. I'm just going to let it dry for a then come over, spread a little bit, a thicker layer. And then from there, we'll see if we're going to need one more layer or if we should be good. So here goes the first layer. So this just finished drying, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna sand it down with 120 grit. We're just gonna try and knock it down to the point where we can see where our low and high spots are. Then we're gonna go ahead and apply another thing of Bondo. We're gonna let it dry, sand it down, and then we're gonna see if we're gonna have to do our third coat or if we're just gonna be good with that. Just got sanding it down. As you guys can see, most of the Bondo on the first layer actually went inside those low spots. As you guys can see around here, this is where the dent was, as well as this little hole right here. So where the pink is, that's basically the Bondo, and I'm really happy with how we put the first layer. As you guys can see, we got most of it nice and into those dents. So we're gonna apply one more coat. We're gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna see if it's gonna need a third coat. I ended up removing the tape because some Bondo got on there, so it was easier just to take the tape off instead of trying to sand it over the tape. So I'm gonna reapply tape to this section right here so that I can keep guiding myself and know where I'm gonna stay. The second coat we're gonna apply a little bit thicker just because the first coat already got inside all of the low spots. So now the second one, we wanna make sure we get a good nice thick coat so that we can, when we sand it down, feather it in. Alright, so now that we have our Bondo set up, once again, we're just gonna let it dry. We're gonna sand it down and then see if we need to go over it one more time. I don't think we're gonna have to go over it another time, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Alright, so this is all dried up now, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start removing some of that extra Bondo. Still gonna use 120 grit to start removing some of that, but at this point we're gonna start to blend the Bondo to the paint. So you don't want to remove too much, but since I have a really thick second layer, I'm just gonna use 120 to start taking some of it off. I'm not gonna start and finish with 120. I'm just starting with 120. We are blending this to the paint. We're gonna move up in numbers. So we're gonna start with 120. We're gonna move up to 220, 320, and then we might just do 400 as well. So right now, that's all I'm gonna try and do. So we're just gonna start removing it with 120. So let's go ahead and start blending that to the car. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start removing some of that extra Bondo. We're gonna do that with 120 grit, and then we'll move on into our 220, 320, and 400. So right now we remove most of the Bondo. So the next step is we're gonna start to blend this into the paint. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to 220 grit, and we're just gonna go ahead and start blending this into the paint. Alright, so that's also feeling pretty good. We're not trying to remove the Bondo, we're just trying to blend it into the paint. So again, try to remove as little as possible. Alright, so now that we just finished sanding it down with 220, we're gonna move on to 320. But since we are gonna be starting to blend it more into the car, I'm gonna be removing the tape here and here so that I can start blending it to the rest of the car. Alright, so we just went ahead and finished up with the 320 grit. Now the last step is to go over it with 400 grit. So we're just gonna go ahead and take care of that right now. Like that, we are all done. This is nice and ready for paint. In today's video, we are not gonna be painting this. This is as far as we're gonna go. Again, I am gonna be doing this process on the entire car. I'm gonna be doing this to all of the dents that it has. The only reason why I wanted to show you guys this specific dent is because it was the worst one and it was the easiest for you guys to see as well. With that being said, we are finally done taking care of that dent. I am gonna be repeating that process on the entire car. I'm just not gonna show you guys. Again, I do not know if this is the perfect way of doing this, but this is the way that I'm doing it on my car. So if you guys like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I am going to try and keep you guys more updated on what's going on with the car. But for now, that's all you guys are going to get. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned.